A new season of Overwatch just released, which means there's a whole bunch of new content to discuss. First things first are Twitch drops. You can come by my streams at twitch.tv/IFOnly to get yourself a whole host of rewards, including the epic Barista Sojourn skin. This season is jam-packed full of new stuff. Obviously, with the new season comes a brand new battle pass and new skins to earn while playing. The theme this time around is split between a few different things. The main one is obviously the Egyptian theme, which includes Thoth Iari, Apep Zarya, Mummy Baptiste, Bast Doomfist, and the mythic Anubis Reaper. For shop skins, we currently have Asset Echo in the $40 bundle. Next we have the Oni, Polar, and Heist skins, with Ana, Hanzo, and Kiriko getting the Oni skins, Diva and Soldier getting the Heist skins, and Lucio Baptiste getting the Polar skins. Finally, some outliers in the past are Dorothy Ashe as a reference to the Wizard of Oz, and Captain Sigma. The previously mentioned Kiriko, Soldier, and Hanzo skins can be purchased as a bundle in the shop for 4,700 coins, and the Porsche Mega Bundle returns for you to purchase for 3,400 coins. Now moving on to some exciting competitive news. Ranks have had another soft reset, requiring all players to complete another 10 placement matches to reveal their new rank. Dev said this was supposed to give players a slight boost to where they are ranked at, so let's see how that goes. The new game mode Clash will also be available in competitive play starting today, sporting a new map, Throne of Anubis. Joining the new game mode is the new support hero that players were able to try out last season. Juno will also be available day 1 in competitive play. Speaking of Juno, here's an overview of her kit for those who are unaware. Her primary fire is a 12-shot burst that can both heal allies and damage enemies, very similar to how Ana's works. Clicking secondary fire will lock on homing missiles that will once again heal allies and damage enemies. For her first ability, she gets a little hover boost that also increases her speed. On the topic of speed boost, her next ability will throw a ring that will give all teammates who walk through it a speed boost. For her passive, she gets Genji's double jump mixed with Mercy's hover ability. And lastly, her ultimate orbital ray will cast on the floor where you are looking and continuously move forward afterwards. While in the range of the ray, your teammates will constantly be healed and get a damage boost. This ult honestly seems quite good, especially for keeping aggression and pushing your advantage. Unfortunately, not all is good news for Juno, as she joins Venture by dropping with no skins outside of the rare recolors. Now moving on to the patch notes. Starting off strong with the first change mentioned being for the avoid system. For a long time, players have been complaining about avoid slots, so Blizzard have come with improvements all around. The base 3 slots still remain, but now have no time limit to them, meaning you can permanently avoid up to 3 players. For the limited time slots, we get upgraded from 3 all the way to 12, making the total avoid slots we receive 15. There were some changes to respawning in Season 12 as well, the most important being default respawn time increased from 10 to 12 seconds, and overtime respawn is increased from 13 to 14 seconds, meaning players will be out of the fight longer if they die. The only exception to these changes is in Flashpoint, where the overtime respawn time stays at 13 seconds. Now for hero changes. Diva sees her defense matrix reduced from a max of 3.5 seconds all the way down to 3 seconds. Orisa's javelin damage has been slightly buffed from 60 to 80. Zarya actually gets a buff, with her secondary fire minimum damage increasing from 47 to 55, and the maximum damage increasing from 95 to 110. The dev's comment states that Zarya's secondary fire didn't benefit much from the projectile size changes in Season 9 since it's mostly aimed at the ground. Let's hope this helps her strength against some of the other tanks in the game. For DPS, Echo gets her base health reduced from 250 to 225, and Hanzo gets the same. Junkrat's balls now shrink the longer they bounce around, but they now keep more velocity as a trade-off. Sojourn gets some buffs, making her primary slightly more accurate. Crits now give 10 charge, and the rate that charge decreases after 7 seconds has been reduced from 33 to 15. Sombra sees her virus projectile damage increase from 25 to 35, and her movement speed buff while invisible has been increased from 45 to 60%. Torb's base health has been reduced from 250 to 225, and his armor increased from 50 to 75. Gab's comment says that they made this change to help his survivability against heroes that are most affected by armor's damage reduction. Finally, moving on to the support category. Iari's ammo has been reduced from 16 to 14, and her ultimate collision size with the environment has been reduced. Juno already received some patches, making her fire rate less, going from 35 to 28 shots per second. Her health also gets the same decrease from 250 to 225. Her lock on torpedoes base damage and healing are increased from 75 to 85, but the healing over time is reduced to 50. Her orbital ring now has a shorter cooldown, as well as being able to deploy it further away from you. Finally, her ultimate now moves forward a little faster after casting it. Kiriko gets her health reduced from 250 to 225, as well as a lot of changes to her weapon. First off, her headshot multiplier has been reduced from 2.5 times to 2 times. To compensate, her base damage is increased from 45 to 60, but the time between shots has been increased from 0.5 to 0.55. Lifeweaver's Healing Blossom now charges passively over time and no longer reduces movement speed while fully charged. Pedal platform duration now only counts when it is raised. It resets if no one stands on it for 2 seconds. The duration has been increased from 10 to 12 seconds, and the health has been reduced from 400 to 300. And lastly, his dash will heal 40 health instead of 60. Mercy gets a buff this season, with her staff now healing 60 health per second instead of 55, as well as her damage boost being increased from 25 to 30%. Moira sees her damage being increased from 60 to 65, and Lucio gets his damage increased as well from 18 to 22. Mercy, Moira, and Lucio all also got their healths decreased from 250 to 225. Last thing I want to touch on is some of the content coming later this season. In roughly 3 weeks, Ana will be the second hero to sport a mythic weapon. Ana will be getting the Midnight Sun mythic weapon that we briefly saw in this season's trailer. On top of that, Overwatch will be having a World of Warcraft collab to celebrate 30 years of WoW. If I had to guess, this collab will happen around September 3rd, and we have one skin confirmed for it. This skin will be a WoW-themed Widowmaker skin, which will more than likely be in the shop with a big Warcraft bundle. In the season trailer, we also saw an iconic sword also from World of Warcraft, so the possibility for a Genji skin or weapon skin is high. Lastly is the reintroduction of 6v6 in Overwatch 2. This will probably come out halfway through the season with the mythic Ana weapon, and will be a separate game mode from the 5v5 that we've become accustomed to. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Also, don't forget to come over to the Twitch to get yourself your free Sojourn skin. Until next time, peace out.